he says, Mr. Nelson, about this parson is, Christ, you see it at line, 598 or so. Christ and his 12 apostles and their lore he taught, but followed it himself before.
He walks the walk.
Ah. So in other words, notice, Chaucer's not anti-religious, he's anti-hypocrisy. Right? About the friar, his problem is, the friar wants to be a preacher so he can get women. That's why he does what he does, which is completely opposed to the order that he would be practicing. The parson, he tells us, says that first he wrought, that means he acted, and then he taught. That is to say, he practiced what he preached. You got it. He practiced what he preached. Now we're going to mention a couple of other religious, the Pardoner and the Sumner. They're on pages 157, 158. And we're going to come back to these two, but they're a lot of fun to talk about. The Sumner, on page 157, he's a spiritual bounty hunter. His job is to go out and find people in sin, bring them to his pal, the Pardoner, and for a certain amount of money, the Pardoner will forgive him. But we're told this Sumner, he's pretty rigorous with his work. He'll go out and he'll find some young man and he'll say, "You've been hanky-pankying, I'm going to tell the Pardoner." And the kid's like, "I haven't been hanky-pankying. I know, I saw you. You've been hanky-panky." And the kid's like, "I didn't hanky-panky. How did you know?" And the Sumner will say, "Don't worry, I take care of everything. You come to my friend the Pardoner, you pay him $100, and he will forgive you of all of your sins." The Pardoner will turn around and give the Sumner back half the $100, and they're both making money. This is a little project that they have going, this Sumner, you see. Now, why would the kid pay? Because the Sumner can threaten excommunication. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that the church says you're no longer part of the church. Big deal. Not in Chaucer's day, it's a really big deal. Because in Chaucer's day, if you're not part of the church and you go down to buy your bread, the person selling bread will say, "I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to sell to you." And you go to buy your meat at the, "I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to sell to you." You have to literally leave. Your excommunication's a serious threat in Chaucer's day. This Sumner's figured it out. All I have to do is threaten excommunication, and out comes the money. And the Pardoner and the Sumner have a deal going. Notice what he says about the Sumner. There was a Sumner with us at that inn. His face on fire like cherubim, for he had carbuncles. Chaucer has beautiful ways to put stuff in our memory that doesn't go away. This guy has huge white zits all over his face, filled with white pus. Carbuncles are zits. Notice he says about them, his eyes were narrow, for he was hot and lecherous as a sparrow. Of course, lecherous is the other word for wanton, right? So we have another religious being called a slut. Black scabby brows he had and a thin beard. Children were afraid when he appeared. No quicksilver, lead ointment, tartar creams, no brimstone, no borsec, so it seems could make a salve that had the power to bite or clean up his cure his whelks of knobby white. He's tried everything for these zits and nothing works. He wears garlic around his neck, which makes him just stink to the high heavens, and children run from him when he appears. This is our Sumner, and we're only 7 lines in. We're told about his pal, the Pardoner, on the next page, 158. He and a mean adjective, a gentle Pardoner, the Pardoner is anything but gentle, rode together a bird from Charing Cross of the same feather. What does it mean to say birds of a feather flock together? The Pardoner and the Sumner go together, don't they, right? Okay. Now, do we want to maybe know what the Pardoner's story is? Yeah, you bet. Do we want to know what the Sumner's story is? Well, you can't read it in high school, but you bet. These are going to be trailers, teasers that make us want. Now, Chaucer is aware already that he's going to offend a few people. So before he finishes the general prologue, he's got to try and back up just a little bit to make sure that everyone's kind of going to be okay with the project of Canterbury Tales. The way he does it is on page 159. He says, "Now, I've told you shortly in a clause the rank, the ray, the number, and the cause of our assembly in this company in Southwark at that," look what he calls it, high-class hostelry known as the Tabard. close beside the bell. Of course, anyone reading this would know exactly. Yeah, right, the tabard and the bell, anything but high class, and we know what goes on there. Note the irony. Let's go to a whorehouse to get ready to go on religious pilgrimage. The ironies, the satires here, right? And now the time has come for me to tell how we behaved that evening. I'll begin after we had alighted in the inn. Then I'll report our journey stage by stage, all the remainder of our pilgrimage. Line 745, this is important for your notes. But first, I beg of you in courtesy, not to condemn me as unmannerly if I speak plainly and with no concealings and give account of all their words and dealings, using their very phrases as they fell. In other words, this is my ash using the F word and saying it wasn't me, it was the bad boy. He says, don't get mad at me for telling this stuff. For certainly, as you all know so well, he who repeats a tale after a man is bound to say as clearly as he said each single word if he remembers it, however rudely spoken or unfit, or else the tale he tells will be untrue. I can't be a liar. I have to tell the truth. What's the irony?
He's lying.
He's totally making it up, right? The things pretended in the phrase is new, and he may not flinch, although it were his brother. He may as well say one word as another. And Christ himself, oh, look at this. He says, Christ himself spoke broad and holy writ, yet there is no scurrility in it. He says, Christ always told the truth. I always have to tell the truth. And Plato says, for those with power to read, the word should be his cousin to the deed. Hey, Plato said we always have to tell the truth. Further, I beg it to you to forgive it me if I neglect the order and degree and what is due to rank and what I've planned. I'm short of wit, as you will understand. Brilliant. What does he say? If Christ and Plato don't get you, don't explain it. Just what? What does he say? I'm short of wit means what? I'm an idiot. Just forgive me, I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Of course, we know Chaucer's anything but a fool or an idiot. He's able to say it beforehand, I'm going to say some things that, wait a minute, he's already said some things that will offend. Clearly, readers are like, whoa, 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 if he's saying this in the general prologue, what's he going to say in the actual story? I don't know, let's go read that Sumner story. I'm interested. Bingo. Got me? Of course, these stories immediately catch on. Chaucer wasn't able to completely finish his full project. Unfortunately, he died before he had every one of these people tell two stories. One going, one coming back, right? Okay, so that was his plan to be able. He wasn't able to get that far, but he was able to get us a number of these stories. We study two. We look at first the pardoner's tale, okay? And then we look at a woman's tale called The Wife of Bath, all right? Those two stories will address the two issues I mentioned before. First, his concern about religious hypocrisy. And second, his concern about guys and girls. About that second story, I will say, it has once or twice been the cause of a bit of war. So, for example, a young gentleman in this room once said something, and all of a sudden, he got slapped for saying it. But the one who slapped him was his girlfriend, and they were scheduled to be married right after graduating. Why did he slap her? Because we were reading out loud something Chaucer said. Don't worry, we'll get to it. And maybe we'll have a fight. I mean, a conversation as well. Thanks very much. Come back tomorrow, and we'll do some more.